Well, hey Warriors, here's today's project. This dresser, if you saw our last video, you know that we did a chest that matches this as part of a set. We are going to do this dresser the same way. We're going to make it a match set. However, before you go clicking off, here's what you need to know. In the last video, we showed you a lot of detail in the cleaning and prep work on that chest. Spent a lot of time on that. In this video, we're going to really kind of zip through that real quick. If you want to see how we clean and prep, you can watch our previous video. This one, we're going to zip through that real quick, and then we're going to get on to more detail in the painting and the staining and exactly how we do that. So that between the two videos, you'll get an overall picture of what it takes to do a piece of furniture. So stick with us, and you'll see how we do the staining and painting in a lot more detail. Welcome to our channel. I'm Jim, and this is my wife Cindy. We find old, outdated, used, and sometimes abused furniture like this and turn it into this. Join us on our journey of furniture makeovers. So while we've got the unit upside down, we've got this one little spot here that the laminate is kind of peeling off the bottom, and that's part that we're going to stain, not paint. So we want to try to save this. So I'm going to go ahead and get some glue in here, and I'm just going to kind of let gravity do its job. Don't worry about using too much glue. Wet towel takes this off just fine. I'm using the Tight Bond original wood glue. We'll clamp this, let it sit overnight. Yeah, we're looking good. You want to put enough in there that when you clamp this, that you get glue squirting out all over the place like this. That's the way it should be. Okay, so to clamp this, I'm going to use my parchment paper over a block of wood and put it on here. The reason I do this is because it seems that nothing sticks to parchment paper. So when we go to take this off, we won't have to worry about my wood block sticking to the furniture and tearing the laminate back off with it. I'm sure some glue is seeping out under there, which is fine. You can see the glue here. We're going to be sanding some of this down anyway, so we'll be good. So there you go. That's all there's to it. We'll let that dry. Takes maybe an hour or so. We'll probably let it dry overnight. But that way that'll be on there, and then we can sand that down. I think the laminate's going to be thick enough for us to sand it smooth enough to get the stain on there, and we should be good.
So we're going to take this finish off. We're going to use the orbital sander. I've got 120 grit on this, and here we go. Now I'm not using a lot of pressure, as you can see. My hand is just kind of guiding the orbital, but no pressure. Just let the weight of the machine do the work.
Well, okay then. Take two. We let this dry overnight. So let's see what happens. Hopefully the parchment paper is not going to stick. This should come right off. Like so. Yeah, we got some glue on there, but it looks pretty good. We're using Bondo. We're gonna get a few of these little pieces that are missing. So Cindy used a 120 to get the original finish off of these drawers, and now she's gone up to a 320. So we just smooth them out, make sure they're ready for stain. We just want a nice smooth surface. We want to get rid of any grain that's raised on there, get them down to nice and smooth. So we're going to go ahead and throw some tape on here real quick. We're going to get ready to paint. To paint this edge right here black.
well, in order to continue with the rest of the piece, we want to get this thing top coated, and we're going to use the clear coat satin by Dixie Belle. So I'm not gonna do this edge because that's rethunk junk and we don't have to put a top coat on that. It's already got it in there. But over the stain, I want to get that taken care of. The Dixie Belle goes on kind of white or cloudy, and then when it dries clear. You don't want to overwork it. You just want to have an even coat. So I've got the hardware soaking in this bucket in some LA's Totally Awesome cleaner. You can get this at the Dollar Tree, so, you know, save yourself some money there. So we're gonna stain the wood. The 4 bottom drawers are going to be stained all the way across the top, and then we're going to do the design on the top 2 drawers, but we can get these stained and get them drying. Now when you're putting the stain on, it doesn't really matter what direction you go in, but you do want to finish it with the grain. This is a water-based stain, so I'm not real worried about it actually staining my hands. So
just want to show you guys a quick tip here. These are my staining brushes. We generally wrap them in foil to keep them wet. I know it's going to be a little while, so one of the things that I do to keep your brushes wet so they don't dry out is you have a piece of paper towel. You just wet the paper towel so it's moist. Throw your brush in there, wrap your paper towel around it so the paper towel is moist. Then you can wrap it in your foil. This foil's about shot. Wrap it in your foil like that, and the paper towel will keep that brush wet. No chance of it drying out, at least for a while. So it's one way to keep them nice and wet and flexible for the next time you're ready to use them.
okay, well, we're gonna sand the top. We have 120 on our sander. So we're going to take this down to wood and this edge down to wood, and the sides we're going to scuff sand.
before we start staining and painting, we want to mark our drawers for our design. So I want to get that done so we can pull the drawers out, then we can paint everything. We can still stain the drawers, they're ready to go. We're running a little short on tape, so hopefully we've got enough to finish this up. We'll see what happens. But basically we want to mimic what we did in the last video, but we're going to put a triangle on each of these top 2 drawers. So the first thing we're going to do, maybe I'll use a thinner tape, see how much we got. We're going to want to go from the center, right where the grain meets. We're going to want to follow the grain. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put a lot of extra on here, so we can go over the top. So we're going to go right to there. And it looks like that is following the grain. So we're going across both drawers. Okay, so now our other point's going to come down here, so we got to get rid of this extra tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this way. Then we're going to get this one on, and I'm going to see if this is going to be the same. Let me find my right measurement here. Where's my inches? Okay. So let's go right from the edge. So we're going to be 6 3/4. So let's see if 6 3/4 is going to land us right where we need to be. Let's see if it goes with the grain and if everything works. So it'd be right there, right there. And yeah, that pretty much looks like it goes right with the grain. Grain is a little off, but that's okay. We're really close. And of course we want the hardware ready to go when we get everything else done, so we're going to get that coated again so that it's all dried up and ready to go when we're ready to put hardware on. Again, make sure you do really light coats. You can see how far away I am. Okay, we're going to be using Rethunk Junk at Midnight for the base cabinet. We always start with our, what they call the prep. So we're going to spray down the areas that we're going to be painting. And the prep is a cleaner, it's a deglosser, and there's no rinsing necessary. We're just going to wipe the excess down. This will get all the dust and everything off, and then we'll just let it dry, and then we can start our painting. Okay, so I know you can't see this because it's off camera, so let me lift this up here real quick. We like to use foil in our pans. Makes cleanup real easy. And if we get any paint on our edge that we're going to stain, we'll be okay. We'll just hit that with a quick little bit of sand paper. Get that right back off after it's dry. Okay, so in between coats, we want to keep our paint wet. We like to use these bags if I don't get them in the paint. What I do is we put one on like this. We take another one. We go the other way. That. Just tuck it all under. We've actually let our trays with the roller or the brush in there sit like this overnight, and they're still okay. So I wouldn't let it go days, but even overnight it'll still hold your paint like that really well, so you don't have to wrap your individual brushes, use a bunch of little sandwich baggies or whatever. This is how we do it. So let's get the drawers ready to go. Okay, so we put this painter's plastic on here with the blue tape. We're going to poly the top. We're going to go ahead and spray this. Got our Home Right Finish Max Super. you don't have a sprayer and you need to do the drawers with a sponge or a brush, the previous video we did, we show how to do that, and we'll put that up at the end of this video. We'll put up a card so you can click on that and you can see how to do this with a brush or a sponge. Because the stain is water-based, if you just drag across it, you're going to drag your stain across your natural wood. So we show you how to take care of that problem in the last video we did. And we're going to do the edges manually. So I'm just worried about the tops right now. That's how fast she goes. We'll probably do 2 or maybe even 3 coats like that. So we'll let this dry and then we'll be back to do another coat. We need time for a second coat. Okay, gang, we're finally there. It's hardware time. So you know what that means? It means we're almost done. Okay guys, last drawer. So we're going to go ahead and show you what we started with, and then we'll show you the big reveal, and then we're also going to show you how the 2 pieces look together, the one that we did in the last video and this one, which are a match set. So we're going to show you the whole thing. Here we go. And here's what the whole set looks like. We think this came out really well. We really like it. Let us know what you think in the comments. And we appreciate you guys. We thank you for watching. And as always, have a flippin' awesome day.